lead as they hog the top right-hand position of the map. Alternate Attax once again taking military base.
So we can see very similar strats coming out from the last game from the teams again. You've got Alternate Attax going to military, GamersOrigin trying to get to Yasnaya, but I feel like it might be contested this time by Rafi and his crew. And then you have Digital Chaos landing in Pachinki. So not very different playstyles happening from the last game. Even if I'm right, the team number's not there. Veneti and Sunbird, they're going to Sverny again, so top part of the map, and Kinguin making their way to South George. So not much has changed from the last game, but let's just see what the circle does this time round to force the players to the different parts of the map.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest factor here, really. We will see, hopefully, the circle give us something quite interesting. We could see a close to repeat of what went on in the last game as well. You're absolutely right there. And here we go. The circle has been revealed. Where are we going to be going on the map? Let's see.
That's actually quite a nice circle.
Okay, very interesting. And Digital Chaos are going to be feeling pretty good about that because Pachinki is absolutely their city. There is no one else nearby, and they are going to be very pleased that they're close to smack bang in the middle of the circle.
Potentially, we might be looking at Team 7 after they've looted up to Bridge Camp Alternate Attax as they come down.
Ouch.
Okay. Yeah.
And there we go. X-Chris there getting the first shot off. That is BlanQ. Managing to take down Noctiv to start things off here. And, ooh, very nice. Managing to get a second as well. Noctiv going down. And Drainies, unfortunately, will not be long for this world as well. That is rather brutal indeed. And AVANGAR have not started this game well.
Unfortunately, no. They haven't been doing that well in the recent games as well. But I'm finding it hard to understand how they did not have any weapons. Did they land earlier and then try to drive in?
I think they must have just got... I have a feeling, because they were in vehicles previously, I think they just got vehicles and tried to drive in quickly. But unfortunately, maybe it was a bit late and BlanQ already had weapons by the time they came past. And it's between a rock and a hard place, unfortunately, as soon as you stop somewhere that another team happens to be, especially this early in the game.
And they only had one weapon between them, so... As both those teams were entering in, he just managed to get M4. So it's just luck of the draw there with the RNG.
All you need is a crossbow. Don't even worry.
You love your crossbows.
I do love my crossbows. Crossbow compilations are my favorite compilations.
I don't know how to use them. I just don't get it. I really don't understand.
It's easy. You aim, shoot, and you rack up the kills. I'll show you. It's fine.
I'm no Legolas. Like, I can't use bow and arrows, crossbows, or anything in this game. It's too hard.
So that's the first fight of the game. Still all 16 teams alive, of course, but really not ideal, unfortunately, for AVANGAR, who have lost 2 people very early on. North George is going to be relatively quiet after that. Yasnaya have got a couple of interesting people. I believe GamersOrigin have 1 person in Yasnaya surrounded by Team Random at the moment, which is slightly awkward. He's not super in the middle of them, but he does feel a little bit alone there on the south side. Oh, wait, I just caught a glimpse. It might be 2 of them. How many people from GamersOrigin do we have in South Yasnaya? So it's 2 and 2. Right, that's better.
The whole team, yeah. The whole team is there. So they've kind of split up Yasnaya somewhat in a diagonal line and managed to just give it over.
For some reason, I thought they were 1 person earlier on. They must have split up recently. So, yeah, that's all good. Got pans and all, and it doesn't look like there's going to be too much fighting. Where is the next fight going to happen then, Talha? Are we going back to Georgia Pole for this kind of thing?
I feel like AVANGAR might want to get some revenge here, but
no way they can do that with the minimap looking like that, man.
Well, like, Keen has actually stopped looting. I don't know. I just need my stuff to load in. So Keen is actually the only one left in North Georgia Pole, and Mumino is by crate, so he's leading up. They're just surviving. So Keen is probably just looking to get 1 or 2 kills. Well, hopefully just 1 kill and get out of there alive. But if not, he's going to try and take some people down fighting. But he doesn't want to move because he knows he's surrounded. And look at this. BlanQ are looking for him, and they do know where he is, and he does get taken down. JoRoSaR, however, does take...
Or Kavorcha
does in fact get taken down by Keen.
I don't actually know if that's the case. I just wanted a third alternative, by the way.
No, of course. But he is going to push out, but he's being pushed from behind as well. It doesn't look too good for Keen. And there we go.
Definitely does not. He goes down there, and the rest of Team BlanQ will be able to finish him off. A couple of punches to the head, because, well, adding insult to injury a little bit, but they do know that he's the last person there. Don't forget, it is still 16 teams because Mumino is, well, he's going crate strat by the looks of things. It looks like no one's here, so you might as well take advantage of it while you can, and there will almost certainly be a vehicle that he can take advantage of somewhere. Now, the key for him is going to be how on earth do I survive and slink my way near Pachinki without getting shot at by everyone else, because he is the last person remaining.
Teed up super low as Ewan takes some shots at him. In fact, does not get hit, and T-Dub survives by the skin of his teeth, heading towards T-Bone, his teammate, at the yellow houses. So, oh, he's actually lost his helmet. So that's not good for him. Grubsy, okay, this is interesting. This is a really interesting play by Attax. They've sent Grubsy along to basically camp out the other side of the bridge to make sure that they are not being camped, essentially. So he hasn't got...
the bridge camp meta is alive and well and living in Erangel. So we're setting up people to camp to make sure they're not being camped.
Yeah. So they've sent Grubsy to basically not have the best kind of loot because they've all landed in military. So he hasn't looted up military as much as the rest of his team. But he has looted up the compounds nearby. And then he's made his way across to the other side of the bridge. And he's just sitting there to make sure that the rest of his team do not get camped. And we have a 15x on Outsiders M4. And an M249. This is interesting. Wow. That is a beautiful looking gun.
It's a beautiful looking gun, although as the circle gets smaller, I imagine that the amount you're going to be able to use that will be limited ever so slightly.
I'm just disappointed it's not on the M249.
So am I. But, you know, you can't have everything in life, but maybe we'll see it on a Vector later. Who knows? So the circle, by the way, I'm still comfortably Pachinki smack bang in the middle. It looks like this is fairly peaceful. 57 people alive, all 16 teams. And you can see we're kind of just finding an unoccupied compound to sort of chill at for most guys. DC taking a couple of pot shots. They've opted not to go for a compound, and they're taking a hill, which is very brave of them. They're taking shots at the moment on Venety of a House of Nobles, who is kind of out in the middle of nowhere by the looks of things without a vehicle. I'm hoping that he can find his way to one very soon as well. Kameshki still has a squad looting up in the top right of the map. And North George still has Mumino trying to sneak his way past. But no one is currently hunting him. So if he's able to find a vehicle, he should be okay.
And Gavrin just holding down the forts. All the teams quite spread out at the moment, so just trying to take some pop shots everywhere. Grubsy just holding the other side while his team is now going to make their way over, and they're going to be driving straight into Finstack. So that team that came first in our first game, they're going to be driving straight into them, and they're going to be looking to get into a little firefight. Meanwhile, Team 12 taking up the opposite hill from DC, but the advantage that Flix has is he's got a 4x. Whereas the last time we saw is DC, they only had red dots when they were taking this fight on.
He doesn't fancy the 1v multiple people, though, and he's just going to go across the next ridge and park up the UAZ anyway. Still getting a couple of shots at them, though. Needs to be careful. Gavran taking a little bit of a peek. So we'll remind them that they could get shot from multiple angles as well. Red zone sitting relatively pretty in this compound at the moment. It can be easy to storm these kind of compounds if you're already right up next to it. The difficult part is actually getting into a position where you're right up next to it. Of course, that is completely surrounded by open field.
You could always use the vehicles, but it does depend how much 5.56 that team has and how healthy your vehicle is before you get anywhere closer. But now we have Kinguin, Team 15, trying to push up onto this compound that's just outside of Pachinki. And they know that there's a team, OPG Cloudtail, just camping in that compound. They need to find a way to get closer. They might use some smokes here to block off some viewpoints and close that gap. But they don't actually have to do anything right now because they are in the circle, so they can decide to just wait it out, which is probably the smartest thing to do.
I'm trying to work out if they've already taken shots from... Well, that answers that question. So if they didn't know that they weren't... So I guess the question for them will become, is there one of their team in the warehouse, for example, waiting for us to run by? And that knocks the helmet off of one of them, which is ever so slightly awkward at this moment in time. Still 57 alive, though. We'll possibly be waiting for the next circle to see some forced movement from these guys and the potential for the first squad wipe. T-Dub goes down, though. Alternate Attacks getting a nice shot in, and that would be the south side near the Ferropier. So Alternate Attax managing to get a kill off with the sniper. And I believe that is the other side of the bridge. It is indeed. You can sort of see him on the 2 o'clock there of Kai God with that Car 98 managing to get that knock.
Kai God has actually found Team 13 as well. That's Finstack. So, like I said, they're just going to be driving straight towards them. They find a fight going on. Sorry, they found the players just hiding in the forest, and now they're going to have to try and clear their path as they need to move forward. Meanwhile, Crimson making their way down, but the DP28. The shots are going to connect.
Very dicey though. Automatic 7.62 weapon at your vehicle. You do have to be ever so slightly wary. There's only so much damage, of course, one of those vehicles can take, and you will be shot at by multiple parties if you're going to be driving halfway across the map. Rest assured of that. Team number 8 to the left of Pachinki seem to be firing upwards at the moment. They have a rather difficult angle. Is that on Team 15? Is that MyTech? I think it is.
That is.
Yep, so OpG and Co are having a little bit more of an up-close and personal time at the moment with this team that are trying to move on in.
This is interesting. So, Raw Banditos are basically pushing them away or further away from the circle as MyTech just kind of get out of there. But they have the vehicles because they need to get out of this compound in order to get into the circle, which is just a bit further back. But Team 15 have completely fallen back. They have completely gone away from that compound, and look at all the vehicles just making their way into the best possible position in this next circle, which at the moment, by the looks of where Crimson are, is a completely open field that they don't want to be in.
Yeah, I really like that move, by the way. Just making sure that you have enough time to put your team in a good position in the next circle. As much as you want the circle to be able to push your opponents and have the upper hand against them, you have to remember, they're not the only team you're fighting against here. There are 16 teams in this lobby, all of whom are still alive. Winning a single fight will not necessarily make you the winner of this game. So the disengagement there, completely understandable. The team seem to have reached a little bit of an impasse with the circle, dictating the terms, and OPG moving on in very, very upfront and personal here. And Verity going to try and get that final kill. Venity managing to do it in the end, but at the cost of most of his life. Where are the teammates? They are very, very close by. That's a lot of damage that he just took. No, those weren't teammates.
No,
that was somebody else.
Gaming.
That was No Loot Gaming.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, he's taking extra damage, and that's by No Loot Gaming G-Thang with his 15x on the lovely, beautiful gun of the SKS. They're just going to shoot them up, and you just don't want to be in that shed in the middle of the field with all these teams sitting on hills around you, just shooting down onto you. And it seems like OPG and Cloudtail have found themselves in a very similar position just further down. Meanwhile, while all that was going on, we just saw Kinguin joining us in the game, making their way into the circle on the bottom side of the map next to Attack. So they're just slowly making themselves homely. And Mumino.
Of course. Because of course. I mean, to be fair, there's actually no one within a country mile of him right now. So considering the terrible start to the game that AVANGAR had, he is going to be well placed. In fact, if he continues running south and goes sort of like down towards Gatka kind of way before moving into the circle, he's even going to avoid every squad. I think the only people that might have a bit of an angle on him if he came from that angle is Crimson. And I suspect by the time he runs there, Crimson might have found another home because the circle will have moved on by then.
Well, the good thing is that the circle speed is actually quite low, so he will be able to outrun it if he's on the furthest point. So the circle isn't even his enemy now at all. So he is absolutely safe no matter what. In fact, actually, no, the circle is moving quite fast. I don't know if he can outrun that. I'm pretty sure he can.
I think he can outrun that. If he starts now, he has a little bit of a head start. He should be able to outrun that. Either way, he's definitely got enough meds to out-heal it.
He's doing a bloody good job at keeping AVANGAR still in the game. Meanwhile, just in the circle, everyone's found themselves a little compound. Vard found himself a little corner with that level 1 helmet. Just gonna stand there and not mind anything that's going on. And
as you do.
Oh, look, I feel bad. I feel bad for Cloud9. I mean,
Cloudtail. You can. That's not a problem.
Cloudtail and is it?
Look, at the end of the day, you don't choose the stack life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the shack. They, like, once you go in, there's no coming out. You know exactly what you're getting into here. Crimson, a couple of smokes out, but That's certainly not enough to guarantee safe passage. All they want to do is get to the UAS. That's all they want to do.
They smoked the UAS.
They're going to have to make a move soon.
Dear. Can they get... Okay. So you've got No Loot Gaming that are just completely dominating 360 degree like angles here of this hill. They're just shooting at every single person, especially with this 15x. They can
suppress 15x. I mean, it takes you quite a while to work out where the hell that's coming from, right?
And that's another crate that's dropping within the vicinity for them. That's about 50 meters away. So the game is kind of just rewarding them everything on a plate right now.
Well, there are 3 possible teams. We've got TBD and BlanQ as well within reasonable running distance to the newest crate. It's not necessarily a given that No Loot Gaming are going to grab this. No one's actually moving for it just yet because they know that Team Red Zone are slightly further up. But I want to know who is thinking about coming from the south end of the crate. I want to see if BlanQ make a run for it. Here we go. Movement.
Ronan. Oh no, Ronan, you're driving straight past the whole of No Loot Gaming. Somehow survive. No, don't go.
Not the shack!
Yeah, not the shack.
If this game has taught us anything. Oh dear. Well, more people embracing the shack life. This is going to be awkward, to say the least.
They just saw that in the shack. Those 2 players, they just know that they can't leave, so they're not even going to bother.
No, exactly right. Outside are getting a couple of shots off at him as well.
Vanity managing to actually fight back.
Outsider and Co didn't actually spot those guys as well. That was a suppressed snipe, a suppressed Car 98 coming their way. Managing to duck back around the corner before they get spotted, so a nice positioning there. Oh, Jansen. Unfortunately.
So this is actually Vanity just kind of showing some force, fighting back from that shed, being like, you suppressed me this whole game, sitting in the shed. Now I have the chance. I'm going to shoot you guys and take you guys down. And this might be his actual opportunity to get out of that shed and move further down. But with a 2x...
Revenge of the shack.
Revenge of the shack. Oh, look at GamersOrigin. They've decided that the water is their friend.
They haven't. That's interesting, actually. There's still plenty of play left, but they're going for the water very early on. I wonder if it's because they think it's their way of getting past Team 7 TBD and just not having to deal with those yellow houses. I wonder if that's very simply is it. Because they've got Ronin that they have to get past. Yeah. Team 7 in the houses. It's definitely a gamble, because if the circle closes into the north of where it is now. Oh dear, we have a little bit of well, don't worry, they're teammates, but guys, what's with all the shack? Guys,
did Vanity just say, yo guys, it's safe, come? Like,
I'm definitely in a safe position, don't even worry about it. There is no one around with a frag grenade, you'll be fine. Oh dear God. You know what's gonna happen now is that House of Nobles end up winning this game.
You know, their vehicles, they've got rid of the tires, so they can't even use the vehicles to get out of there. Fedge is just in a rock and a hard place right now, being shot by everyone. In fact, the firing stops for a little bit. He manages to... Never mind, he managed to get across the road and then he gets taken down. And now Ewan trying to find the last kill onto Moleman, who was just lying down behind his Dacia. So it's going to be Jokers who comes down the corner and might be able to actually kill him, or Fausta.
Awkward position, and if Dasha blows up, it blows up with him right next to it. Things currently stand as well. Oh, that's a lot of shots off against the Dasha. Moleman's got to be a little bit worried, but he can't leave the cover right now. It is smoking, and he most definitely was between a rock and a hard place. And he will go down. Ewan on low health, and he actually gets knocked up by the blue. Is his teammate going to go back in to res him? A lot of damage being done by that right now. They might have to continue as a duo. Not 100% sure what they're going to do. Okay, they are going to attempt the res.
They're going back to res. And so Gaxi making his way to this shed now, and he's getting shot at. I actually wanted to talk about that play by GamersOrigin while just shots are being popped off everywhere, but that's okay. If you look at the area that they were swimming from, if they went on land, yes, they have these two teams to fight against.
Sure.
But that whole area that they have to cross if they did go on land has absolutely zero cover. It has absolutely zero trees if they were coming from that area. So that's probably what they probably thought. Is, okay, there are teams there. We probably will not survive if we go on land, even though that's the quickest thing. let's go into the water, let's swim, and let's go all the way around. But now the challenge they're going to have is, can they find a place where they can get up back onto the land from the cliff?
I was about to say, the circle could have been slightly kinder to them, couldn't it? They have to just, swim all the way around to get to that little bit of beach to move into this final circle, or this next circle, I should say. And the circle is going to be moving slowly, but also it's only 10 seconds till it starts moving in. I'm not sure all 4 of their team members are going to be able to make it in at this rate. And Ronan goes down, by the way. Chris managing to grab the kill there.
So Duck kind of fell down the cliff, and now he's... Dove has been sitting
now
in
the
this
duck
toilet.
is swimming.
Dove has been sitting in this toilet for at least 10 minutes now. He hasn't moved.
Hey, sometimes it's just what you gotta do, alright? That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you're enjoying your evening and you just don't care. And T-Dub doesn't have to move just... Well, I say he doesn't have to move just yet. He will have to move soon-ish, but he is perfectly happy where he is. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying my cup of tea and newspaper.
Digital Chaos finding those easy kills on a couple of members of Red Zone as they make their way across the open field, but they are taking shots at. This is not the best place to be crossing without vehicles.
He's going right up at them as well. Grenade going down very, very close by. We're going to see if the smoke will obscure that vision. Very awkward situation indeed, because DC are right up in the faces of these guys. And Ronan are not going down without a fight. DC are losing numbers, and only Fausto is left. Unfortunately, Red Zone and Ronan effectively teaming up on them there. And this is absolutely disaster for them.
Yo, the shack life is working.
I mean, yeah. What can I say?
The tide
Toilet life, shack life. T-Dove is about to get eaten by the blue, actually. He needs to leave the toilet pretty soon. Oh, a beautiful headshot onto Crimson, by the way. Lockwood getting taken out by Kinguin there. Just a split second to be able to react, but excellent locking on. And he will earn that kill.
So it is just Jambawe here versus 2 people. He comes round.
But he's in the shack. The shack is superior. Oh. He must have got knocked out from the smoke there. So Jambawe proving that the shack life is absolutely the correct way to go. And, oh, Kinguin at the very, very edge of the circle, by the way. Still just kind of chilling out, staying alive. GamersOrigin, we did talk about how they might not all have adequate time to get into position. And this is exactly what's going to happen to them. Unfortunate, unconspicuous is... Well, he might be able to get rezzed here, but look at the number of people that are also in the water. This is going to turn into a little bit of a clown fiesta on the beach.
Okay, doesn't look... I was going to say, if Phantom can at least get Rixnaz down, he's the only one that actually has a gun equipped in this situation, then he might be able to get that res off. But Rixnaz is actually going to get shot from the rear, and...
Of course it's from a shack. It's always from a shack.
If
there's one thing I've learned from this game, Talha, it's that if anyone gets shot unexpectedly, it is almost always from a shack.
And now Chris is just sitting here. He's going to be trying to get rid of the rest of GamersOrigin. Unfortunately, GamersOrigin's plan did not work, and BlanQ have actually taken it and made it their own. And then you've got Ronan just in the background. In fact, the timing on this could be...
Oh,
paramount.
Nice frag. Getting half the HP off of Maydai, who is going to go down to Duck as well. And Ronan there, sitting pretty. Of course, they are in the water themselves, so definitely not out of the frying pan just yet. Next circle, by the way, 15 seconds left, and there will be no water remaining. So these guys are all going to be forced to move in the next couple of seconds. 12 teams remaining, 32 alive, and you're watching round 3 of 4 of the Auzom Premier League Blue as Kavorka gets taken down.
That's a really interesting play there by Phantom, who's just sitting in the smallest cave that he can find, and it's going to be Chris who comes down as well, and he takes out Chris.
Beautiful.
And no
initial
one
hit.
can be rezzed there now, because the last person is Rixnaz. Really? Really? He's doing it? Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I mean, if you deny the kill, why not?
Deny the
Does that count as 7 points?
No, it doesn't.
Someone
count.
consult the rule book. I'm pretty sure that would be too easy.
I don't actually know what the rules is.
But denying the kill is certainly sensible if you don't want your competitors, of course, to go ahead and grab those points from you. So a brutal way to end the game. Who needs enemies when you have friends like this, right?
Indeed. I'm still surprised that House Nobles have just somehow survived as long as possible in this shed. Now that they kind of have center circle, they've just completely... Well, look at this fort they've made with their buggy, or their jeeps as well.
So here's the thing, right, Talha? Who wants to get close enough to chuck a frag in that shed? Who dares running across enough open space to chuck a frag there, right?
Well,
that's the game of chicken right now.
That's the thing. You can't get close enough because they have...
Oh, Kinguin! Miraku is down. Gaxi is the last person standing. He's in the blue now as well, and that is chunking hard. He's got the first aid, but he's going to have to move very, very quickly. Indeed, Alternate Attax very close to him. He is absolutely between a rock and a hard place. Team 13, Finstack, are looking to end Kinguin right now. He's got no choice but to run towards the blue. Has JoRoSaR spotted him? Not yet. He's just down the defilade there. There are 2 UAZs and the rest of the team. One more med kit, first aid even. And, oh god, he now basically has to play a 1v3.
Oh dear.
So that was that. And that's actually Alternate Attax.
Yeah,
who managed
and it wasn't
to finish
even
him
Finstack
off.
that got him.
Nope. So a Finstack going to be slightly annoyed that they didn't get that kill, but also relieved that they don't have to deal with Kinguin. So Kinguin down now in game number 3. A lot of people going down as the circle finally closes in. 7 teams and 18 alive as Lixon gets a beautiful shot up with the Car 98 onto Flix.
Regardless, Flix is going to get back up, but the joke is on Attacks because they have to make their way into the circle through an open field. Can they do it efficiently? Can they do it effectively? Who knows? Because right now, you've got 2 teams who have a shed. The only bit of cover...
The shacks are still in the bloody circle, Talha. This is unreal.
No Loot Gaming gets taken out there with G-Tank falling and Vascu falling if they make it. Yeah, this is the problem. Now, the people that we were making fun of in the shacks earlier...
I did say, oh wow, and that's beautiful. That is everybody down, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Bear, Vascu, the doubles, they are gone. And I did say earlier on that the ironic thing is House of Nobles will just end up winning this game from the shack. This is very, very possible at this point. We will wait and see. Kygod, though, with some excellent sniping, but he is getting taken from Finstack on top of the hill to his left. So he just wants to focus on killing off shack people. Not particularly interested. Ronan being very aggressive, though. It looks like they're coming across the open towards shack on the right-hand side as Team 13 Finstack now moving down from the top of the hill. First mover, a lot of vehicles coming in. There is no way JoRoSaR is getting up from that. And Secret, oh no, he gets taken down as well, leaving Timmy's the last one standing.
I mean, there wasn't much else that they could do. You knew that you were going to lose at least 1 player in that push, but losing 2 does not put them into a really good position.
Ronan down to their final player.
Team 13 down to their final player as well. This does not look good whatsoever. Attacks looking like a strong team here, but they still need to make it into the circle. In fact, 1 player does fall down. Cannot see who it is. Kygod. So that leaves Frost, the last one alive, and Kygod will not be getting back up because of how open it is. So, yeah. Team Noble, absolutely dominating right now in this last closing stages of the game.
They really are. 5 teams left, 9 alive, and guess what? I think, is it 4 of them are part of House of Nobles? Have they got their entire squad still alive and well in the shack? I think they do. And that is, I mean, both hilarious and commendable in equal measure. I didn't realize the caster curse worked 15 minutes as well as 15 microseconds later, but I guess that's what we're doing today.
Who's that last person on Ronan? He's just going to crawl across that field. Kraken. He's going to crawl across the field. The players are, in fact, close enough, so the grass is rendering in. It's not going to make a big of a difference. Timmy is actually going to get shots taken onto him. Bossman is going to get taken down by the snaker in the grass.
Kraken getting as many kills off as he can. He's now, though, finally gets picked off, and P-Day will be able to finish that off. 3 games left, 7 people alive, and 4 of them are indeed from House of Nobles. So not an ideal situation at all. Timmy's just going to be chilling here. I mean, Timmy's has got the circle, to be fair. Everyone else is going to have to get out of the shack. Oh, can you still win if you get out of the shack, though, Talha? I don't know,
They do have vehicles. That vehicle's not blown up, is it? They do have vehicles. They can do this. They can use it as rolling cover. Maybe that's something I'd like to see.
The vehicle next to the other shack is blown up, but the vehicle next to Venety now is not.
Here we go, going in backwards to the rock. It does know that Timmy's is there. However,
oh, Timmy, that's funny. If I go backwards and I can't see him, he can't see me, right? That's definitely how this works. And yeah, Timmy's there, well and truly behind the only bit of cover he can rely on right now, and possibly the only bit of cover he'll be able to rely on for the rest of the game. P-Day and Co. This is, of course, the Royal Banditos. They are the other team in this game right now. 7 alive, 3 teams. And in the driving seat at the moment is House of Nobles. Very much so, but they could be down to 3 members in just a moment.
I was going to say, this all does come down. This does come down to Timmy on which team he wants to help out, kind of make their way up here. And in fact, the res is going to come out to Veneti, so he might just be able to get it off. And team number 8 are going to be able to make their way into the
Timmy's was
circle.
looking, but I don't think he is. He's busy being shot at the moment, so the res will happen.
Is that still all 4 alive? Yes,
It is still all 4 alive. It's Sunbird is down, but not out. And it looks like all 4 of them will be able to make it back up. Unfortunately, the other 2 teams are just busy trading shots while those smokes were active. So I think more smokes are going to come out now. Oh, is that a frag, actually? That could end up being beautiful. Oh my god, that is delicious. Absolutely delicious. One more of those and Timmy goes down.
You know, if they could just see Timmy, like, they could see what they just did, that they would have been able to take him out of that, of the game completely. But he has got a good rock. Oh, this is interesting. They're going to bait him out with the card. Oh, it's the moving cover. It's... Yes!
I approve of this. This is excellent stuff coming out of here from House of Nobles. They're moving ever so slightly closer. Unfortunately, the moving cover only moves for so long until you get back in the driver's seat and keep going, so they might have to do that once or twice more. Car blows up now, so they've decided that actually this is the player... this is the play they're going to make. They just happily sat inside the circle. The next one is very, very small indeed, and it closes in 50 seconds' time. And I believe team number 8, Royal Banditos, are going to be forced to move north.
This is interesting. Timmy is completely fixated on Team Noble, who is just...
He could get pushed here.
He could. They know there's someone at this rock. They are completely aware of it. But he's so fixated that if he just stands up and looks over the broken car that's next to him, he can see Cloudtail easily, and he might be able to get a frag on him. But I think he's too afraid to even stand up and give away his position. Flix, however, does find Pity, or Pidgey, Piddle, sorry, Pity, and he does find Timmy as well. So there we go. It is now a 1 versus 4. Cloudtail.
Well, at least he rest assured that he has at least secured second place. Cloudtail staying out of trouble for long enough, and as soon as he saw that, he realized he might as well come out and fight. Congratulations there to Veneti, Sunbird, Flix, and Botsman. House of Nobles, ladies and gentlemen, as we predicted, inadvertently, about 15 minutes ago, when they went into the shack for the first time. Yes, I am very much aware of how hilarious this looks. Are your winners of game number 3. I'm JoRoSaR. With me is Talha. We're both casting from shacks at opposite ends of the UK at the moment, and we will be back with game number 4 after this break. Don't go anywhere.